It's your boy Quan, and I'm joined with the homies Sylvan and Cooley, and this is Wrestling with the Homies. Now, should I say, guess who's back, or should I say, finally? Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is. But first off, yeah, boy. Y'all talked all that trash last episode. Y'all called him a liar, but it looked like he wasn't lying this time. But before we get into all of that, fellas, why y'all got me up so early, man? What's going on? It's cold outside. I got crust in my eyes. What's going on? Why we up so early, man?
Look, man, for further context for all our audiences, we usually get up at a certain time and record this podcast. Today it is 8 a.m., which is a fairly decent time to wake up. You know what I mean? People be waking up at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't be doing that, but, people be doing that. But we up early to support the homie Jonathan, who's got his own art show gallery in San Diego today. We're going to go out there and support the homie. So,
yes,
me and Cooley going to be rocking out, hitting up to San Diego. So, we gotta wake up early and do this pod and get on a road and beat that ridiculous California traffic. You feel me?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
up with
Shout
no
out
coffee,
to Jonathan.
man. Yeah, man.
I got my smart water like always. Shout out to Jonathan though, man. When Jonathan see this, he gonna go crazy because he had no idea we was gonna mention him on this podcast. So shout out to our boy Jonathan.
Yeah, man. Shout out our boy.
Yeah, shout out to the gang.
Question: have any of y'all been approached about this podcast in real life, like offline?
By people we don't know?
No, just by like homies and shit. Cause
sure.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
look, man, I got a story for y'all. So I was at work the other day, right? I'm at work, and the homie comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, Quan, you have a wrestling podcast? I saw it." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I didn't know you liked wrestling." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he goes, "Isn't it fake?" Bruh.
Isn't it fake?
Isn't it fake?
Oh, brother,
Listen, if you out there, I need y'all to understand one thing. We understand that this is fake. This is fantasy. It's not real life. That's the reason we watch. We're three black guys from poverty, the ghetto. I'm talking can't sleep at night because it was helicopters in the sky, police helicopters every night. So it's like, yeah, growing up, I needed to escape that reality. So I would watch wrestling and lose myself in that fantasy every Monday, every Thursday, because that's what SmackDown used to come on Thursday. If you know, SmackDown used to be a Thursday night thing, not a Friday night.
Yeah,
so like,
up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for a couple hours, we would tap in, we would lose ourselves in that fantasy world of wrestling, then we get back to reality. And as an adult, I do the same thing. Like, yeah, I sell shoes all day. I'm the shoe man. Some people call me the plug, but when I'm home and I'm finally home and I just want to rest, I lose myself in this fantasy world of wrestling. So please don't approach me saying that, oh, don't you know it's fake? Because we know. Trust me, we know it's fake. That's the reason we watch it. It's entertainment.
Why are people so obsessed with reminding wrestling fans that it's fake? Like, I don't
understand.
Or why do they say it like you don't know? Like as if you just have no idea. Like you do know. It's like
it's common sense.
That's like approaching someone like, yo, you just saw the new Avengers movie, right? But you know it's fake, right? Like Spider-Man ain't really saving the day. Like it's fake.
Brother.
Duh. So shout out to the homie at work, but listen, don't come at me like that again.
Put him on blast.
Man.
Look, I'm gonna have to rock bottom you next time you come at me talking about wrestling is fake. We know. It's still real to me. Remember that. It's still real to me. God damn it. And I'm sorry for that little tangent. That was completely unplanned. I just had to get that out because, bruh.
I ain't gonna lie. That's an annoying question, man. That's annoying. Like, bruh, don't ask me that.
But listen, we on the podcast now, so we open ourselves up to that because I wasn't too open about my love for wrestling. Like if you was close to me, you knew, but people from the outside, they ain't really know I was into it like this. So we open ourselves up to that for now. So we kind of got to rock with it. You feel me?
I feel like I've been getting like a lot of support because I've been really vocal about how much I love wrestling, and I I don't know, man. You come to me and ask me something like, "Oh, you do know it's fake." I might fight you. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Because like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, bro, you're not about to just come to me and try to, like, you're not gonna come to a wrestling fan and try to inform me on a product that I religiously watch. Like, you're not about to do that, bro, unless you really about that life. Like, you ain't about to come to me and ask me some questions like that, man. Like, I ain't got the time for it, bro. I be feeling like high key offended. Like, what do you like?
Right.
Like, why are you like what? Like, you insult my intelligence, bro?
And
I gotta,
the thing is,
that's just me though, man.
But no, the thing is, like, I can tell they don't mean nothing by it. Like, they like when they're saying, "Oh, you know it's fake," right? Like, they're not trying to be disrespectful. They just they genuinely just don't know what this world is about. So I get it. I don't hold it against them. But future reference, PSA: please don't approach wrestling fans telling them it's fake because we know.
Sure enough, dude.
Let us enjoy the ride, man. Just let us enjoy the ride.
They probably speaking from when they used to watch it too. So they probably come from the perspective of like, oh, I found out it was fake, so I stopped watching. And so they probably think that anybody that grew up that still watches it is like them and just doesn't know. And it's like, nah, bro, we know. We understand. Like, we just
Trust me.
We just bought in.
We know.
We
know.
We bought in, bro.
We bought in, baby. Trust me. We know it's fake. But anyway.
Hey, wait.
Y'all ready to talk this wrestling? What's up?
No, before you move on, you say you the plug, right? So what's up with some kicks, man? Like my closet looking kind of crazy, bro.
Come on, don't act like I ain't supplied both of y'all with kicks before. Y'all know what it is, man.
Nah,
y'all know what it is.
Quan recently, you recently though announced to the group chat that you have a plethora of items that are available for us.
Oh yeah,
and I haven't seen none of that. I'm not. I didn't want to ask. I haven't seen none of that. At least that batch. I can't sit here and say I've never gotten anything from Quan. I've gotten a lot of things from Quan, but from that batch specifically, I haven't gotten.
Look. You know where I live. You know the crib. Pull up, man. Pull up. Come through. Come through. Go through the closet.
I don't even know why I'm at.
Like, come on, man. Y'all know. Y'all got first dibs, baby. We on a podcast together, so y'all got first dibs.
I don't know why I'm acting like I don't know where Quan lives. Like, y'all might as well just pull up, be like, yo, what's up? What you got, yo?
Now, y'all ready to talk some wrestling, man?
Man, let's get into it, man.
So, last week, my brother sat here and they rolled their eyes. They scoffed at The Rock, mentioning that, I might be down to return for WrestleMania 40. I might pop up. They thought he was lying. They said he was a liar. Well, apparently, he wasn't lying. Because that very same night, The Rock made his triumphant return to WWE. First off, how do we feel about this segment? I thought Austin Theory did his thing.
Austin Theory definitely held his own. Like, he's been doing his thing all year with all these legends, man. Like, it's insane to see him, grow. What I do love about this return is it was kind of unplanned. Like, I feel like some people probably knew because of he was on his on the show with Pat, but some people really didn't know. So Denver got a hell of a surprise, and it kind of reminded me of that old school moment where we didn't really have too much internet, and if somebody pops up, they pop up. It's like, oh snap! So that's what The Rock did, and I mean, it was dope.
It wasn't announced. It wasn't announced. It was kind of teased a little bit, like a couple hours before the show, but none of us really thought that The Rock was gonna pop back up. He popped up, and he had a dope segment with Austin Theory, and he got active. He got physical. Like, The Rock got physical. This is the first time we've seen The Rock get physical in the WWE ring in a long time. Like, he rock bottomed Austin Theory, hit him with the people's elbow. Sylvan, what did you think of this segment, man?
First and foremost, I want to give my props to Austin Theory.
Yes, sir.
What a performance, my guy.
Yes,
you held your own against the great one. And a lot of people can't do that, man. You did fantastic. How you were handling his promos. At a certain point, I was like, yo, is Theory? I ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But Theory was hanging. He was hanging pretty close to the great one, man. On the mic, I was like, all right, So shouts to Austin Theory, man. As far as The Rock goes, I mean, I very much enjoyed him being at SmackDown. I think it was really cool. It was definitely a surprise to me, but at the same time, I know it was a surprise to Denver. I know Denver was probably like, yeah, we about to pull up and just have a
How did Denver get that? Not LA, not New York, Denver.
Well, it is the first. So, all right, it is the first SmackDown of the Endeavor and
That's
WWE
true.
official partnership. So of course they
True.
wanted to come out with a bang. And what better way to start a bang than with the biggest star in the fucking world, The Rock. So
Right.
I mean, kudos to The Rock. I still don't believe he's gonna be at WrestleMania.
Hold on.
You know, but it was great to see you return, Rock.
Hold up.
It was great.
Hold up. If we
You know
talking
what I
about
mean?
WrestleMania, my brother, we got to really get into it. Because look, fellas,
Uh-oh.
I don't know how y'all going to feel about what I'm about to say. But after seeing that Rock appearance this Friday, I am willing to step out and say we need to see Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 40. We need it.
We got a
need it.
needer. We got a
And y'all
needer
know,
right
look,
now.
You know me.
man.
Hold on. You
In
know
Philly?
me. You know me. You know me.
In Philly.
I don't like using the word need. I'm
Yeah,
more
you
of
hate that
a
word.
look. Like if you want it, just say you want it. Don't say we need it, because need is we misuse that. We mistake the things that we want with things that we need. Like I truly feel that way. But when it comes to this Rock situation, I feel like as wrestling fans, we need this. As the WWE needs this. And I can explain it. I got 3 reasons why. I got 3. Look, that Rock return did 103 million views in just the first 3 days. I don't know what it's at now. 103 million views. Now, look, I know we all love Cody Rhodes and we want to see him finish his story or whatever. Cody Rhodes ain't doing 103 million views. We all love LA Knight and what he's doing. He's skyrocketing into the top right now. LA Knight's not doing 103 million views. This is box office. This is the biggest box office match that the WWE can make. And we all know WWE is about that paper. This is a business at the end of the day. That's the biggest match they can make. So we need that. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, it makes the most sense. This bloodline angle has been about family from day one. We all know what the bloodline is. It's the NOI family. The bloodline was started when Roman Reigns came back and he claimed his rightful space as the head of the table in the NOI family. He put Jey Uso in his place. He put Jimmy in his place. Now, we did go on some little side quests. Now I'm saying we had the little Sami Zayn joint. We had the Cody Rhodes joint. But we brought it back around when Jimmy and Jay finally challenged Roman for his spot at head of the table. Now, we can't have a family-oriented storyline without the most famous, the most popular, the biggest member of that family. It just wouldn't make sense without The Rock being involved. It's like having a storyline about the Flair family between Charlotte Flair, David Flair, and like whoever else, but not including Ric Flair. It don't make sense. We need The Rock involved in this storyline. But the main reason why we need this, not want, we need this, is because it's the only true dream match that's still possible in wrestling. Because think about it. How many dream matches, and this is a real dream match, by the way. I'm not talking about that Tony Khan version of a dream match where it's just a dope guy from New Japan versus a dope guy from AEW. That's not a dream match. I'm sorry.
It's a dream match.
We know what a dream match is. A dream match is Sting versus Undertaker.
Cool.
But we never getting that. Because Sting is in AEW and Undertaker retired. A dream match is AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels. We're never going to get that because Shawn Michaels is retired. A dream match is Kurt Angle versus Bryan Danielson. Of course, Kurt Angle can barely walk these days, and Bryan Danielson is over in AEW, so we're never going to get that. And what's the last one that everybody wanted to see? Stone Cold Steve Austin and who? CM Punk?
Whew.
I don't know. It might be possible. It might not be.
Possible.
But last time I checked, CM Punk was like Tommy from Martin. He ain't got a job. He don't work nowhere. And we know Steve Austin. He came out of retirement. He did his thing with KO. But that wasn't a dream match. That was Kevin Owens. We know what it is. So at the end of the day, The Rock versus Roman Reigns is the last dream match that's really possible in professional wrestling. And if we don't get it now, we might never get it. We know The Rock is getting up there. How old is The Rock? 56, 57?
The Rock is.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
The Rock got to be up there.
How old is The
He
Rock?
like
How
50,
old is The Rock?
He's 51. I think he's 51
50.
or 52.
The Rock is 51 years old. How much
He's
longer
like-
can he go?
He's in the second wave of his life.
Come on, man. If we don't get The
Yeah.
Rock versus Roman now, we may never get it. We all know Roman Reigns
That's
is on
true.
his way out. He's preparing for Hollywood. I give Roman Reigns maybe 2 more years before he out of there. So at this point, if we don't get this match, then it's just going to be, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. It's going to be one of those what-if matches for the rest of our lives. Do we really want that? Do you really want this to be a what-if in 100 years? Nah, we need that now before it's too late. We need this. That's my TED Talk. I don't know how you brothers feel about this, but I feel like we need this.
I mean, I was saying that last year, and he let me down. It's like when you're finally about to meet your dad for the first time in your life, man. You know.
Oh my God!
And he said he's around the corner. He just never comes. You know. That's what happened to me last year, bro.
Shout out to all the black dads out there, all the beautiful black fathers out there taking care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of them.
I'm sorry, bro. It's just it never happened, and it really tore me into pieces. Like, I love The Rock, bro. I grew up on the People's Champ, and I felt like Hollywood was just the perfect story. Like, what are we talking about? But I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan, but shout out to Philly if they get it. I mean, cool. But do we really need it right now?
If not now, then when? Time is running out, my brother. 50 years old.
Man.
Yeah,
I don't
50?
know, man. I feel like 50 for The Rock is like 30. I feel like he can do anything forever. You know, that's just how I feel about The Rock.
Steroids. That's them steroids, my brother.
Yo, look at Ric Flair, man. Man, wrestle till he's 78.
Yeah.
How old
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
Sylvan, tell me something. Do we need this match? Do we need this, or am I just being extra? Am I just on a rock high right now?
Nah,
Pause
man,
at rock
look.
high. Not
Rock
that
high.
type of rock. Now I'm
Hey,
saying.
Am I on a
yo.
rock high, baby?
Whoa.
Look, man, I love The Rock. I love The Rock. I mean, Miami, that's a thing. You know, me being from Miami, him being from Miami, like, that's my guy. Like, I bought Wyclef's album because it doesn't matter.
Wait.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
We're not
bro.
gonna let you skate past
Yeah,
that.
bro.
You bought the rock
Wow.
Wyclef. It doesn't matter.
I bought
Sylvan,
that.
my
Bro,
brother.
I bought
You
that.
didn't
First
know
off,
this.
I bought that album. I think it was was it the Carnival? Was it?
It was
I
the
think
carnival.
It was the Carnival. I bought the Carnival album solely because of that single. I used to love
Wow.
that single. I used to love seeing The Rock. It doesn't matter. I got 20
It doesn't
Benzies and
matter.
the big Benzies.
Hey,
It doesn't matter.
man.
Bro, I
You a
bought
sick
that album.
individual, man. You are a sick man for buying that.
It was
You
a
are
good album.
a very
That's
sick
crazy.
brother.
Bro, and it had that stripper song that nobody talks about. I think it had 911 on there too.
Okay, 911. I'll give you that.
Classic album.
Someone please call
911.
911.
Yeah, it's a classic
Shout out to
album.
White
I
Cliff.
bought
That's
that
awesome.
album because of The Rock, man. I would have loved him to be at WrestleMania 39. Him, I mean, man, versus Roman at the peak of the Bloodline storyline. Because let's just call it a spade a spade. We have already, I believe, and this is another topic, but I believe we've already witnessed the peak of the storyline of the Bloodline. But that's just me. That's just how I feel. So
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at you calling that Wyclef album classic.
It's a classic. Come on, man. Yo, Wyclef
My
don't
guy
give
said
enough
classic.
props, man. A classic album.
What makes that album classic? Because The Rock was on it.
Come on, yo, man. Don't make me put. All right, see now. All right, let me pull up the album.
Oh no! Don't do
That's
that.
like-
Please
that's
don't
like
do
calling
that.
Rock Lee
Please
album
don't do
classic,
that.
man.
I'm about to come pull up the.
And ladies and
track
gentlemen,
list.
if you aren't
What-
familiar with
list?
Sylvan LeCue,
We got one.
look, this
Yo.
is my friend. This man is an incredible lyricist. He's an incredible artist. He's an incredible rapper. This man is calling his Wyclef album classic
A
because it has The
classic.
Rock on it. That's insane.
All right, it wasn't. It was on the Eclectic. It wasn't on the Carnival.
The Eclectic
Carnival,
or whatever.
Eclectic, yeah,
The
it wasn't.
Eclectic?
It wasn't Carnival. Carnival is a classic, but you know, Eclectic has some records on it. You know, it's a double album, so it's definitely not a classic. But it's got some joints. It doesn't matter. It's got 911. Something
That's-
about Mary. You know what I mean? I'm just saying,
Wait,
man. It has some joints. So
I'm sorry. Get back to what you were saying. 'Cause we scaring the hoes right now with this Wyclef conversation.
yeah, I'm sorry, man.
My bad,
I'm sorry,
y'all.
I'm sorry,
My bad.
I'm sorry.
Look,
fellow-
everybody out there, my bad.
Yeah, we sorry. But look, I of course I want to see The Rock at WrestleMania 40. Of course I do. I mean, look, I like the idea. I like the idea of having like WrestleMania 40, the Big 4-0, The Rock versus Roman. It's incredible. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that. Am I going to see it? No. Of course I'm not going to see it. You know why I'm not going to see it? Because The Rock is a liar. He's a liar.
Oh my God! Not
And you
this
know
again.
what? I'm gonna take it a step further. The Rock, as much as I love you, brother, you are a fame whore, bro. You're a fame whore, and the reason why you were at that show was because number one, you had nothing else to do, because we know what's going on with the strike.
Yeah.
Number two, it was a favor from Vince. I'm pretty sure Vince called you and was like, "Yo, the first show of our Endeavor deal is on a SmackDown. It's your show. We named this show after you. You ain't got nothing going on. You ain't not got nothing to do. Pull up. Show some love. Give my little man Austin Theory, the rub of a lifetime. I like this guy. I want to make him the next you. All right. I'll show up for you, Vince." That's it. That's all it's going to be, bro. And number three, as far as I'm concerned, if The Rock was smart, and I feel like I'm bashing the bloodline, but if The Rock was smart,
you're doing this right now.
if The Rock was smart, he'd stay far away from this bloodline story because it's about to crash and burn. I have no faith in what's been happening recently. I think this thing sucks. We're in the third inning. If this is the third inning, then this plane is on its way to a crash and burn because this storyline is taking a turn for the absolute worst. I don't know where it's going. I still have faith, but the peak of this storyline was last year, bro. Why get it now?
I'm gonna need Cooley to document everything that Sylvan is saying right now. Cooley, make sure you document all this. I promise
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Look, if The Rock pulls up,
gonna sound a lot different.
If The Rock pulls up at WrestleMania 40, bro, I'm going to be the first one on my feet celebrating. I'm a fickle man. You can't trust anything I say. You know what I mean? So that's just,
we wrestling fans.
We wrestling fans, man. But I don't believe him. I don't believe that we're going to get that. And because I don't believe it, I don't want to get excited about it. And because I don't want to get excited about it, I don't want to agree with you, Quan, that we need this. Because that would mean that I would have to anticipate it and hope for it. And I already did that last year. I did that last year, bro. And I had my heart broken. Bro, do you understand? You, Quan, me, Cooley, you, Cooley, and me were at WrestleMania 39, all different sections, separately sitting apart from one another. Because we weren't even the homies at the time. We were just homeboys watching. And we had this one dream to see The Rock at 39. We didn't get it. We knew we weren't going to get it. We were disappointed then. And then we had to watch Cody lose, bro.
Thank God. Thank God, by the way.
I mean, thank God. But in the moment, it hurt. It hurt. You were in that arena pissed off, dog. The last thing I want to do is invest into The Rock. Man, I don't even want to say the sentence. I just feel like I'm reliving all that pain. like
that was some pain,
getting excited again until I see him come out at Survivor Series or I don't know, man.
I'm just afraid, man. I'm just afraid that this is going to end up being LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. It's going to be a what if that we never got. And we had the chance to see it. And we missed it. We fumbled it. This would be a great disservice. I mean, that's true. It could suck. But I mean, look, The Rock versus Hogan sucked. Like, technically, from a technical standpoint, they didn't go in that ring and tear it down. But you know what it was? It was such a large spectacle moment that we didn't care that it sucked. The crowd cheered for like 10 minutes. If Roman Reigns and The Rock stand across each other from in that ring in wrestling gear, do you realize that crowd is going to be chanting, holy-ish, holy, and like, this is, bruh, it's going to take them like 20 minutes to get started because the crowd is just going to be on the high. I mean, we need that.
I agree. I don't disagree with you, Quan. I just think The Rock. I just don't fuck with The Rock right now, man.
Come on, man. Language, brother. Language, my brother.
I'm sorry, man.
I know it's 8 a.m., but man.
This is what this topic does to me, bro. Like, you don't understand, bro. Like, we all grew up watching this guy, man. We all anticipated this match we've been anticipating this match for like 2 years, dog. And they teased it to us. And now you want me to get excited again?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man.
He put it in his show, bro. On his show, bro. On Young Rock.
Young Rock.
On, man.
It was in there. It was in there.
And you know what else he said? He said, yo, it was locked in. You know, it was locked in. And WrestleMania 39, it was locked in, bro. You know, we had it.
We sounded like
sounding like Hulk
We
Hogan.
didn't need that info.
I'm in a toxic relationship with this guy at this point. It's like I'm with a pause. It's like I'm with a girl that I know is bad for me, but I keep going back to. All right, I keep thinking maybe she's gonna change. Maybe she's gonna do something different. Maybe she will respect me for who I am.
It never
it's
changes.
not the truth.
It never
And
changes.
it never
changes. And honestly,
You know what?
look. What? Cooley, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say.
I'm about to say some dumb shit.
No, I was gonna say it's hilarious how Sylvan called the Rock of Fame whore because we all know why he was really in Colorado that night.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He
that day.
was in there for that game.
Yeah.
Coach Prime. Shout out Coach
He was there
Prime.
for Coach Prime. Shout out to Deion.
What are we
Sanders
talking about?
doing Staying over in
Come on,
Colorado,
man.
That's why the Rock was there.
We know why he was in Colorado.
It's
And them
funny you
promos
said
ain't-
that, Cooley.
Yeah, and them promos ain't even hitting like that anymore, dog. They ain't even hitting like that.
Nah,
They
that
ain't even
promo
hitting
was
like
hitting.
that.
That promo
Yeah, it
was hitting.
It was
And
hitting.
shout out to Austin Theory because, like Sylvan said,
hitting.
Austin Theory, we lose faith in Austin Theory sometimes because I would say his customer. Oh my God, see this is working too much, man. I was about to say his customer, his character is getting stale, and a lot of times his matches kind of just be whatever. So we kind of lose faith in Austin Theory sometimes. But when Austin Theory was in there with The Rock, it reminded me, like, you know what, this dude really is the future. Like he really does have a huge place in this business.
He's the
And
future, man.
We're gonna see it slowly.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That Austin Theory rub, that might have turned the page for me on Austin, man.
Right?
Because just from a promo standpoint alone, like I mean, I always thought Theory was like decent on the mic at best, but the way he held himself together with The Rock was like, oh, this guy.
He told The Rock, it doesn't matter.
matter.
I
Oh.
said, whoa.
Whoa.
I was like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody do that except for like Mick Foley.
Right.
Like, for real.
Shout out to Mick Foley. That's another all-star. We mentioned all the all-stars today.
Mick
Now,
Foley,
look.
man.
Hey, man.
Now, look. Y'all know I want The Rock to come back. I want him to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Y'all two don't seem like y'all believe that he's going to because y'all think that The Rock is a liar and he's busy with other stuff and his writer strike might be in it.
He's a
But
liar.
we want to hear from y'all, man. Let us know down below. Do you think The Rock should return and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40? Or should we just drop this pipe dream and let it go? Let us know something. Now, we got The Rock out the way. What you got for us today, Sylvan? Let's talk about something that's on your heart.
Look, man, speaking of The Rock versus Roman Reigns and trying to highly anticipate that they will be facing one another at WrestleMania 40 for the Universal title, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to talk about a tweet that was sent to our illustrious group chat from our lovely leader, Quan, who
I send a lot of tweets. Which one?
yeah, you do send a lot of tweets, man.
I'm
But
the,
this
I'm,
one,
the, I'm the
Yeah.
screenshot king,
that's
baby.
right. But there was this tweet about, I think it was like unpopular opinion. So you know on Twitter, or I mean, well, on X. Like, what do you call a tweet anymore? You call it an X?
X.
A Z. A X Z.
A Z.
I got too
know.
many X's,
Z.
man.
I don't need more. Sheesh.
Anyways, on Twitter, there was they have those unpopular opinions, or like, where they have the dude with like 100 swords at his neck or whatever.
Yeah, I know
It's
exactly
like-
what tweet you're talking about.
Yeah, state your popular opinion. And the tweet that Quan placed into the group chat it alluded to something of fans have made
see if I can-
Cody's story about beating Roman Reigns more than it has been about winning the title.
Yeah.
Is that it's basically that's
That
what
was
it
the
was,
tweet.
right? That was the
pretty
tweet.
much the tweet.
Right.
That
And
was
so my initial response was false narrative. I said false narrative, because I remember when Cody said that in order for him to fulfill his story, he would have to win the Universal title, right? That was just it. Like when they mentioned the World Heavyweight title with Seth Rollins I think it was at a media scrum with I want to say it was for, I don't know what pay-per-view it was for. I can't remember. But somebody brought it up and said, hey, would finishing your story basically would winning the World Heavyweight title against Seth Rollins mean
I think
beating,
that was that might have been after one of them Saudi Arabia shows.
yeah,
like
it might have
Crown
been.
Jewel or something like that.
And he clearly stated, no, not at all. It's about it's about beating Roman, not beating Roman, but it's about winning the Universal title whatsoever, right? So I said the tweet is a false narrative. We fans didn't make this about beating Roman at all. We didn't. Quan disagreed.
I'm gonna let you get it off.
Quan disagreed, and we went back and forth for a little bit. But then I had a thought in our back and forth that I wanted to bring up today, and it's a little bit controversial. So bear with me. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe we all feel this way. We just haven't acknowledged it. Who knows? I think. Let me bring this back. When did the Universal title debut?
2016.
2018, 2016.
Yep.
Can we?
Cooley be known.
All right.
Cooley be
so
known.
2016, right? 2016.
He got them years in his head.
We're looking at 7 years of this title, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of 3 of those years, out of those 7 years, 3 of those years have been spent with Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we've had 4 years of different champions with the Universal title. Now, how has that Universal title really felt to y'all?
You mean before Roman or now?
Just in general, before Roman. Like before Roman had the title, how did those feel? How did that title feel?
Like a side piece. Like a side piece.
Right.
Like 95% of the 95% at a time Brock had it. It was just like the
we had the WWE Championship at the same time, right?
Since 1963.
Yeah, 1963, right? So 1963 WWE title, there's a lineage there. We've had 4 years of this Universal title. And we had Brock, we had Seth with it for a little bit. I think, Kevin Owens held it for a little bit.
Finn Balor held it for a day.
Finn Balor held it for a day.
Man,
literally a day.
Is there anybody we had Bray Wyatt with it for a little bit. Did we? Because
that might have been. That was Fiend. That was Fiend, right?
Yeah, that was Fiend time because Roman beat Bray for it, right?
Yeah.
Goldberg had it.
Oh no, let's not remind me about that. Come on, man. Goldberg did have that thing.
Yeah, Goldberg had it. Didn't Triple H at some point randomly have it?
That I don't know. I don't remember Triple H ever having it.
And then pre-Tribal Chief era, Roman, held it at least like 3 or 4 times at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Did any of these reigns feel good? Did this title feel important to y'all?
Not really.
Roman has made this belt the most important it's ever been.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Right?
That's a fact.
We can all agree. Roman Reigns has made this title the most important it's ever been. It's felt the most important it's ever been.
Yeah.
100%.
Now, here's where I start to think a little bit more, right? I want to take that a step further and say that I think that Roman's reign is actually more important than this Universal title. I think that when we talk about championship reigns, this is the most memorable reign in probably the past 20 years.
It's the most memorable of my lifetime for sure.
I honestly, the only reign that kind of rivals it to me in terms of like just remembering how a championship reign felt was CM Punk in 2013. When he had it for, I think, that 450, 500 days or something like that. I remember that reign. Remember
he was also wrestling in the mid card with that title though. Like he wasn't even main event.
Yeah, he was.
John Cena was still the main event.
He was, and John Cena was definitely still the main event. But I remember that reign. I remember how important Punk made that title feel. Right. The title feels important because of Roman, but the reality is that we are more obsessed with how long that Roman has had this title. And so when I go back to the argument that we were having about this tweet, right? When homie is like, yo, we've made it about we made Cody's story about beating Roman. It's like, how could we not? How could we not? The optics of what Roman Reigns has represented for the past 3 years, it's so much bigger than the titles. It's about him. It's about how long he's held these titles for. It's about his bloodline storyline. If he dropped the title to, I don't know, let's say he dropped the title to, I can't think of anybody. You know why? You know why I can't think of anybody? Because there is nobody. There's maybe Cody. Is there anybody else?
Seth-ish, kind of.
Seth-ish, kind of. The problem is that there's so much of a divide between Roman and everyone else.
Everybody else, yeah.
There's when we were coming up, when Quan, Cooley, me, wrestling audience, when we were out here watching the Attitude Era, we saw the championship be passed around like a blunt in the hood.
Everybody was on the same level.
Everybody got it.
Yeah.
Everybody
Rock,
got to hit it twice.
Triple
The
H,
Rock,
Kurt
Mankind,
Angle.
Kane, Triple H.
Yeah.
And Quan, like
Taker.
you said, everybody was on equal footing.
Yeah.
Everybody was on equal footing. Everybody felt like they were a main eventer. Like they were the main eventer. Right now, it's just Roman.
It's just like it's Roman and then everybody else. That's a fact.
To me, that's I want to bring forth this idea that, in my opinion, the universal titles aren't really that important right now. They're not. It's really about Roman. And as soon as Roman loses these titles, if Roman loses these titles to anybody but Cody,
It's not gonna feel.
we're gonna go right back to where we were 3 years ago. Just some
Not
titles that
necessarily.
we
though.
have.
Not
Bro,
necessarily.
think about anybody on this roster that we give those universal titles to. Think about outside of Cody.
It depends on how WWE portrays them. Like I can see somebody like I hate to say it. I know everybody's gonna roll their eyes and be like but I can see WWE going all the way with somebody like Braun Breaker and kind of building him the same way they built Brock Lesnar as the next big thing. So when he does take that title, it can make sense. Now at this moment, right now, if he took the title, we would all be like, what?
But that's
But,
hopeful
I'm just
wishing.
saying we can get there.
But that's hopeful.
I mean,
wishing.
if they did it with Roman, they can do it again.
But I mean, Roman was already how many WrestleMania main events in? How many WWE Universal Title championships in?
And it's not like the Roman thing happened overnight. Let's just be clear.
Not.
Let's be clear. 10 years we sat here and rolled our eyes and like we couldn't wait till Roman got out of here.
Oh man!
And then, at some point in that pandemic, he really hit his stride. That's when he really became the man. But like WWE, if it's not working, they gonna still try and try and try. If they really want it to work, they gonna continue to put resources into it. But I don't want to get too far off the point. I'm gonna let you do your thing, make your point. I'm gonna let Cooley speak to it because I got a lot of problems about what you said, and I want to pick them apart. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish.
My problem is the fact that I want to care about this universal title because of Roman. I didn't really care about it before Roman. I'm gonna be honest. And the fact that Roman has become so much further of a main event than every other superstar on this roster is a problem with me. It's a problem because who do you pass this off to besides a Cody? And I think that's
I'm just playing. I'm just
and that's why and in my opinion that's why Cody, going back to our original tweet, even when he says we've made it about the title, it's like, no, WWE has made it about Roman Reigns. So inadvertently, we have to see someone like Cody finish his story against Roman Reigns because those are the optics. It's the optics of it all. If Cody is saying, yo, I'm not going to win this World Heavyweight Championship, it has to be for the Universal title, and nobody's held this Universal title longer than Roman Reigns, and nobody else can really hold these titles on the same level outside of a Cody, then what are we talking about? And that
remains to be seen, man. That remains to be seen. Cool.
I'm just saying the titles aren't as important as Roman's reign.
Cooley. You got anything you want to say to this man
Hey,
before I pick this whole thing apart?
Quan, he not lying, bro.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Listen, man. Listen, that belt. What does that belt mean, bro? The Universal title is basically just how the World Heavyweight title just became this year. It was a here you go. I mean, I believe that belt was created on a triple threat match with the Shield back in 2016 after the brand split. And I believe Dean Ambrose won it, but the belt went back to SmackDown. They needed an extra belt, so Stephanie and Mick Foley was like, "Oh, let's create a Universal." So it's like, what is? Do we really care? You know, I don't know, man. And I didn't really care for anybody's reign with it. I mean, obviously Bray Wyatt, because that was my guy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I got the belt. But I mean, I feel like Roman for sure did make this way more important than it's ever been, because we didn't really care about any of this. Like, come on, what are we talking about? Let's be real.
Okay.
The WWE belt is the most prestigious belt in pro wrestling history. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, man?
Because of who's
Since
held
the
it?
60s?
I hear you.
Since
I
the
hear you.
60s?
Okay. Here is what you guys are failing to realize. Y'all are failing to realize that this is very standard. The world title, the universal title, none of these titles can be more important than the person that holds it, because the person that holds the title makes the title. It's not what you have, it's how you use what you have. The title is important because of who has it. Roman Reigns has elevated this title to a level that I have never seen since forever. I don't think I've ever seen a reign like this. Roman Reigns has done that, and that's by design. When the title is bigger than the person that holds it, you don't remember that title reign. It just becomes a prop. Do y'all remember when Jinder Mahal had that world title? That title didn't mean nothing. You know why? Because Jinder Mahal had it. Do I sound crazy to you right now?
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
So Roman Reigns having that title makes it important. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Ric Flair made those world titles he held important because he was Ric Flair. He carried it with swag. He was the limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun. He made those titles. So you guys are talking about Roman Reigns being bigger than a title like it's a bad thing when it's really not. That's by design. I don't want the title to feel like a prop. I don't want the title to feel like when Jack Swagger had it and it was just like, oh, this wrestler that doesn't deserve the title is just holding the title. No, we need a title reign where the guy who has it has the title elevated super high to a point that it's never been. So that's not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. Number two, yeah, Roman Reigns, it is the Roman Reigns show. It is Roman Reigns up here and then everybody else down there. And that's honestly Vince McMahon's fault. That's WWE's fault. When you put every single resource into making one man head and shoulders above everybody else, that's just the problem that you create, for better or for worse. WWE created that problem, and now we got to get out of it somehow, some way. And it seems like that road might be Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes is the biggest thing going right now. That's not Roman Reigns, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But my biggest problem with what you said, Sylvan, is the fact that you think that Cody Rhodes must defeat Roman Reigns to finish that story. And that's not the case. I'm sorry, but that's not the case. Now, I would like to see Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns just because he got to get his get back. Like, I don't want to see Cody Rhodes lose to Roman at a WrestleMania and then never get his revenge. It just don't feel right. It just don't feel right in my soul. He got to, Roman got to lose that.
No, but Cody got to lose.
Oh, Cody don't want to see Cody with that thing at all.
Dog.
Nah, I mean, look, I ain't mad at him. Like, if Cody don't beat him, he don't beat him. But look, finishing the story depends on that world title, no matter who has it, because the story is bigger than Roman Reigns. Finishing the story, this is what y'all fail to realize. The story is not Cody Rhodes' story. The story is a Rhodes family story.
Okay, all right.
Cody wants to win the title that eluded his father his entire career. When Cody listen, let me talk. You had your turn, man. Let me talk. When Cody Rhodes returned to WWE, that first Monday Night Raw, what did he do? Do y'all remember? He stood in the middle of that ring and he played a video. Yeah, he always cried. You know, Cody, if two things is true about Cody, he gonna say, "What do you
Cry,
want to
baby.
talk about?" And he gonna cry.
Gonna cry.
That's just what he do.
Yeah.
But he stood in the middle of that ring and he played the video. And do you know what that video was? Do you remember that video?
It was a
That
montage
video
of
was his
something.
father, Dusty Rhodes, winning the title in Madison Square Garden and then having the title stripped away from him in 2 minutes. That title eluded Dusty Rhodes his entire career, and Cody Rhodes set out and said that he wants to win that title that eluded his father. That is what finishing the story is. So yeah, the story is Roman Reigns right now because Roman Reigns has that title right now. But if Roman Reigns loses that title to Jey Uso or to whoever, if he loses the title to Drew Gulak, it wouldn't matter. 5 years from now, when Cody Rhodes wins that title from whoever he wins it from, that's the story is finished. He finished the story. The story does not depend on Roman Reigns. The story depends on the title. I'm sorry.
I
It's bigger
understand.
than Roman.
I understand what you're saying, Quan, and I get it. I get exactly where you're coming from. I want to state that first, more than anything. I fully get your point. Here's where I disagree. Right. I understand that I am in the minutia of wrestling fans. You know,
We all need to understand that. We all need to understand that.
We are in the minutia of wrestling fans. We're not kids.
We are the 1%. We the IWC.
Yeah, we're not kids. I don't know what it's like to be 8 years old with Roman Reigns having the world heavyweight title. I mean, the universal title for 3 years. I know what it was like to be 12 years old and witnessing the reign of terror of Triple H.
Oh my God, that shit was terrible.
Now, that was
Hated
insane. That was, to this day, I don't think anybody as much as Roman is hated, I don't think anybody will ever be as hated as Triple H is or was
right.
in between 2002 and 2006.
Right.
So I know what that feels like. But I want to state that I understand we are in the minutia. But the problem that I have is that if as big as Roman is, we are talking about moments here. And when we see a Cody Rhodes verbally say, finishing my story is about winning the Universal title.
Universal title. It don't matter who he said from.
It doesn't
all that
matter
matters-
who.
it's
It
about
doesn't
the
matter.
title.
It doesn't matter who he wins it from. Yes, you're right. It doesn't matter.
So what we talking
But
about?
the moment requires Roman Reigns. It needs
Right now,
to be
yeah.
Roman Reigns. No, it needs to be Roman Reigns. You know why? Because there's nobody else. Who do you realistically want to see when it comes
There's-
down to Cody
Here's the
finishing
thing.
his story against anybody else?
Here's the thing
Who's
that you
putting
keep-
asses in seats?
Here's the thing you're
Quan,
forgetting. Here's the thing you're
Jey
forgetting.
Uso? Or
There's n-
Jey so maybe Jey Uso is gonna be the one who's going to allow Cody Rhodes to
Listen,
finish his
listen.
family story.
Listen, you keep saying there's nobody else. There's nobody else
Why?
right
Who else is-
now.
Oh
There's
my
nobody
God,
else
the future.
right
That's where we
now.
all have to go.
Do you
We all have to go to the
do y'all
future.
look, do y'all realize at one point in time, John Cena was on his way out the door, and we said, oh man, who are we going to pass the ball to? There's nobody else on John Cena's level because they presented John Cena as such a big deal for the last 10 years. Nobody else is going to fill those shoes. And then they tried with Roman Reigns for 10 years, and it failed. It fell flat. But what happened? Roman Reigns eventually got to that moment to where he
10
did
years
take
later.
the ball and run with it.
10
So I'm
years
saying,
later.
yeah, there's nobody that replaces
We
Roman
don't
Reigns
have 10
right
years.
now, but we don't know. We do
don't
have
have
10
10
years.
years.
WWE
We
is
don't
doing
have
the
10
best
years.
business it's ever
Not
done.
for Cody's
So how do
story.
we not have 10
Not
years?
for Cody's story. Not for Cody's story. We don't
Who
have
cares?
10 years.
Look, y'all make me
I
hate
care.
Cody Rhodes. Y'all make
I
me hate
care.
Cody Rhodes.
I
Listen,
care.
when we first started even discussing having this podcast, I was the biggest Cody Rhodes fan. But you Cody Rhodes fans out there crying about him not finishing the story and not beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, y'all make me hate Cody Rhodes. Like at this point, I hope Cody Rhodes never wins that title. I hope he loses every single match from here on out because y'all get on my goddamn nerves with this Cody Rhodes nonsense. Who cares about Cody Rhodes? We talk about The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And y'all talking about Cody Rhodes. I don't care about this man with his little American flag tattoo on his neck. Get him out of here. I'm tired of Cody Rhodes.
Hey, listen,
Ain't nothing
man,
worse than Cody
I-
Rhodes fans
Look
on
at-
this world.
Cody Rhodes is 38 years old. We do not have 10 years, by the way.
And
I don't
we
want to
don't.
see Cody Rhodes finish the story at 50 years old. Sorry.
We don't have it, bro. It's about right now, bro. And right now, Roman Reigns is the only one. He's the Don Dada. And then there's everybody else. The only other person that would be a box office in any type of capacity is Cody Rhodes. And I don't want to see Cody Rhodes go against anybody else to win that Universal title because, quite honestly, it ain't going to be hot. It ain't. It's not. It's not. Man. We ain't got nobody else on this roster. Now, if we had other people that were that popping in the next maybe year or two, then yeah, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if Roman could drop it.
The thing is, they can get popping. That's what y'all ignore. It's like, come on. When WWE push the button, they going to push the button.
If WWE are they going to push the button?
Of course. If WWE decides tomorrow, yo, we want Austin Theory to be John Cena, we about to put him on an undefeated streak and just put all our resources into him, they would do it. And you know what we're going to do? We would be mad about it at first. We would go online and tweet and complain and cry like wrestling fans do. But you know what we'll do eventually? We'll fall in line like we always do. We did the same thing with Roman Reigns. We hated this. We hated Roman Reigns for 10 years. Don't forget that. We hated this man. We said, yo, this is a flop. He a failure. He's not who they think he is. He's not the next nobody. They're forcing him on us, and we don't want this. And then what happened? He turned heel. And what we do? We fell in line. And now we're saying it's him and everybody else. Yeah. 10 years ago, we were saying we hate this guy. And now it's him and everybody. Like,
but the optics
be patient, man.
But I'm just saying the optics are different this time, Quan, and you know the optics are different. Like Roman Reigns,
the optics were way worse last time when John Cena was at the top of WWE. The optics were way worse. Cena wins. LOL used to be a meme because Cena was never going to. It was always just Cena and then the rest of the roster.
But John Cena wasn't carrying that title for 3 years, and we had other people like Orton, we had other people like Batista, we had other people like Edge who were main eventers.
It was worse though.
We had a lot of people who were still seen on the same level as John Cena from a main event standpoint.
And that's a lie. That's a lie.
From nobody a main event standpoint.
No. That's a lie because nobody was ever put on that Cena level. Are y'all forgetting that CM Punk held the title for damn near 2 years, and that entire time he was opening pay-per-views and wrestling in the middle because John Cena was still the main event? The entire shows were based around John Cena, regardless of the fact that he wasn't WWE champion.
I understand where you're coming from.
That was a much worse time than what we're doing now.
I understand where you're coming from, but you're not. But you're still. It's like you're refusing to see what's actually going on. Like what Cena's doing is the same thing as what was happening with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, there were a bunch of main eventers that were on the same level, but it was about Stone Cold. Same thing with John Cena. Yeah, there are a bunch of main eventers that could compete with him, but it was about John Cena. This isn't that. This is Roman Reigns and then these niggas right here. That's it. That's what we're in. That's dangerous, bro. The reason that's dangerous is because it makes booking very limited. It makes spectacles very limited. And to circle this whole argument back, the reason why you feel like you need to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns is because it's the only spectacle in WWE that is left due to this ridiculous booking that Vince McMahon has cornered us into for the past 3 years, which is why Cody Rhodes needs to beat Roman Reigns. It just is what it is.
It's the only spectacle left in wrestling. It's the only spectacle.
Am I right or am I right?
You're very, very wrong. Roman Reigns versus The Rock is the only spectacle left in wrestling, not just WWE.
Yeah, we're going to get that spectacle in The Rock and go right back to the XFL. And then what are we going to do?
You don't care about that. You know we're going to be once. Look.
I'm gonna join.
I want Roman. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I know the people who are mad about this Roman versus Rock thing. They just want to. They mad because they say it's predictable. We all know the outcome, but I don't mind that.
I don't know anybody.
I'm good. I'm good with seeing Roman put the beats on The Rock and then establishing himself as the greatest of all time. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
we might
have. Let's be honest.
They might make it something. They might make that. I'm trying to find a word that doesn't allow me to where I can't curse.
They about to make that like the head of the table match. Whoever wins is the head of the table.
I just feel like it's gonna be something. Yeah, something's gonna happen where it's like, oh, here we go, another year of this bloodline story. Like I just feel like something. Like there's no way Roman's gonna win that clean, and we just gonna hear it. It's just gonna be really ridiculous. And here I am, hoping and dreaming again. I'm not thinking about.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about that. Nope.
Right. No. And, like, just to speak towards that, like, people saying The Rock versus Roman would be predictable, and Cody versus Roman wouldn't be. We all know if Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania 40, what's going to happen? Cody Rhodes is going to win.
If Cody lost, though, oh, my God.
I would. Standing ovation. I don't want Cody to come near that title. The way y'all making me feel right now, I never want to see Cody touch a title. I don't even want him to spell. I hate the hype, man. Let Cody be. But look, this is how we feel. I want to know how y'all feel. So if you feel like Cody Rhodes finishing the story goes through Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is more important than the title, let us know down below. And if you think that I'm right, because I am, if you think that Cody Rhodes' road to that title is finishing the story, regardless of who has it, then comment down below. Let us know. Now, how y'all good on? How y'all looking out with time? Because I know y'all got to go. Like y'all still killing? We cooling? We chilling?
We got some time.
We chilling, man.
All right, so look.
Chilling.
Since we chilling, I want to bring back something that we got into a screaming match about last week. Let me drink this water because I'm scared where this might go. I don't know where this is going to go.
Wait. What happened?
All right, so last week, me and you brothers, Cooley actually had to calm us down because we was yelling at each other last week because we got into a debate between Nia Jax and LA Knight.
Oh God!
Sylvan said Nia Jax wasn't a good wrestler, and I pressed him. I got on his head because I said, "How could you say he's not a good wrestler?" But you a LA Knight fan, and he is very unanimously considered bad in the ring. He's not a good wrestler, and we screamed at each other. So at some point, we need to define what a good wrestler is because we got to keep it consistent across the board. We can't say this one person is bad because we don't like the way they wrestle, but then the next person we like their character. So you know what? We're gonna just excuse all their flaws. We gotta decide what is a good wrestler and what's not. So I'm gonna let you take this away, Sylvan. Tell me what's a good wrestler because how could Hulk Hogan and look shout out to everybody who hates Hulk Hogan because we over here at the Wrestling with the Homies podcast, we do not like Hulk Hogan at all. He don't like us. We don't like him. But I just want to understand how can someone be considered bad at the thing when they're literally the most successful person arguably ever at the thing? It just don't make sense. So please explain that to me, my brother.
Look, man, success does not equal quality. McDonald's is the biggest food chain in the world. Is it good food? No. Now, it's not good at all. It'll make you
unless
feel
you're drunk,
like
then them fries be hitting. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Them
but
fries.
Is it good? No, not at all.
Fries, baby.
I'm not touching none of that, man. That's poison. When I say, hey, yo, it's poison.
Look, this man get healthy for 1 year. Now he's talking about his poison. You was eating that a year ago. I know you.
we ain't doing that.
I used to be a fast food buff. I was a Wendy's guy.
Ooh,
I'm talking like give me the chicken Asiago with the biggie fry and a side of a 10-piece nugget with a large Coke, bro. I was losing my
made me
life.
hungry right now.
Straight up, you know what I mean? I had to get my life together, myself together, you know what I mean? But like I'm saying, a decent wrestler, you know what? Let me take that back. A good wrestler, in my opinion, has to have charisma, a character, mic skills, decent in-ring work, and longevity. Those are my five.
But my question is, what's the most important? Because it seems like anybody who's not the best wrestler in that ring, we kind of just trash them and call them bad wrestlers.
The most important to me is character. That's top of the line for me. Like character, if I don't care if you are the best, if you're incredible on the mic and you have great ring work and you are the most charismatic person ever, if you don't have a character or something I could really latch onto, or if your natural self just isn't compelling enough, then I don't care. It just is what it is. Like, and it's the same way, right? Like you can have the most compelling character and suck at everything else. Like Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore was incredible.
Man.
Enzo had the best character ever. Incredible on the mic. Terrible, like, you know what I'm saying? Charisma, but just had no type of wrestling skills, like no type of in-ring work. Terrible in the back. But it was like, bro, I want to see him. I want to see him come out and do his thing and get it cracking. So the character work is the most important to me. It's the most important.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Coolly.
Character work.
Coolly.
Character work.
What's a good wrestler, man? Character work? You a character guy too?
Look at man. Character. My greatest of all time. My favorite. Stone Cold Steve Austin. best character. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? I feel like you have to create this character that people believe in, and you have to get people over with that. And I feel like Steve Austin was good at that, not just in interviews, but also he showed that through his ring work, you know, with the beer and, you know, the cussing and stuff. So character work is number one. I would say mic skills. You got to be good on that mic. I'm sorry. You got to be good on that mic. If you're not, you're going to be botching a lot. And I've seen a lot of botches, and it's very embarrassing. My gosh.
I remember when Owen Hart said, and that's why I kicked the leg out of your leg. It's like, what?
I seen one about Finn. I seen one. I forgot when Finn botched on a rock. He was like, last night. I mean, last week. You're making me so mad that I said. I'm like, oh,
I remember that.
I forgot who he was talking to, bro. It was so hilarious, though. But character work, mic skills, you know, your intangibles, your charisma, your selling. Your selling got to be good, man. I'm sorry, your selling got to be good. I feel like one of the best sellers is Shawn Michaels.
The greatest of all time at selling. Him and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah,
Dolph, man. What a seller, man.
He take a super kick. That man act like he just got shot by a shotgun.
You know who's the best seller in wrestling right now today? And y'all know y'all gonna be shocked when I say this. Ricochet.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Ricochet
yes.
is the
I'm
best
glad you
seller
see
in
the
the
Ricochet,
game.
bro.
I'm glad you see the vision.
An incredible
man.
seller. Best in the game.
I'm glad you see the vision.
And I would say the last is
You gotta have a presence, bro. You gotta have that just
presence.
presence, just about you. Just like Velveteen Dream, man. Velveteen Dream.
Ah.
That boy had a presence. As soon as he showed up on the screen,
Velveteen.
and I every time we mention Velveteen, we all hang our heads because, man, listen, if you out there and you don't know who Velveteen Dream is, this dude was he had a Prince gimmick. His gimmick was pretty much Prince in the 90s or that late 80s. This dude was incredible in ring. It was solid, but character-wise, he just had a presence about him. Whenever he walked into a room, you just felt that aura, and it was like, yo, this guy is going places. He's going to be a main eventer. I think John Cena even called him a future WrestleMania main eventer, but Velveteen Dream he couldn't kick those bad habits. You know what I'm saying? He was doing drugs. He was putting his hands on women. He was making all the mistakes that people make, and now he's jobless like CM Punk.
Dog, I had no idea this guy existed for years until Quan put me on game. I'm like, bro, who? Prince.
No.
You know, Prince. One of my favorite musicians. So you know I'm gonna tap in. Bro, this dude was amazing, man.
He was amazing,
and it
shout out
sucks.
to Velveteen, man. Please get your life together, Patrick Clark. That's
sucks,
his real name. My name, Patrick Clark. Get your life together. All right, fellas,
real,
look,
man.
This is how I feel. I know y'all think that I'm the Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, in-ring geek. And I am, because I love in-ring. That's my thing. If you good in-ring, then I rock with you. But I honestly don't think any of these characteristics that y'all naming are more important than the other. I look at it all as just like attributes. It's like you take a basketball player, right? You take a basketball player. He can shoot threes. He can get to the cup. Free throws, insane. He can dribble. He can do anything on offense, but he can't play defense.
Steph Curry.
I can't then say that. Yo, I was thinking Steph Curry when I was describing this, so that's hilarious. But I can't say, yo, that dude is a bad basketball player just because he lacks defense. So to me, in ring is just the attribute. Now, the thing that's most important, yeah, bro, it's just the attribute. No. If you're a terrible in ring, but you got the presence, you got the mic skills, you got the character down, you got everything else down, but in ring you're shaky. I can't call you a bad wrestler. So I take back what I said about LA Knight last week. LA Knight is not a bad wrestler. Now, in ring wise, he's not the best. He looked like he got two left feet. He be stumbling around, botching moves. Sometimes he looks very uncoordinated, but LA Knight is a 10 out of 10 in every other category. He got the look, he can talk, he got presence, he controls the crowd with the movement of his hands. So I can't sit here and call LA Knight bad. So I take that back. LA Knight is not a bad wrestler. In ring, he just kind of shaky. Now, to me, it's not about how much you can do. It's about what the crowd reacts to. So I say that to say this. If a guy like Mustafa Ali can go out there and do the most incredible things ever in that ring, but nobody reacts to it, and then John Cena goes in that ring and does 4 moves, the shoulder block, the STF, the attitude adjustment, and the you can't see me, and the crowd goes crazy, it sells out Madison Square Garden, then John Cena's a better wrestler than Mustafa Ali, because Mustafa Ali must be doing something wrong. If he don't got the people rocking like John Cena, then all that stuff that he can do in the ring means nothing to me. Now, there are some wrestlers who kind of mastered the best of both worlds. A guy like Bryan Danielson or a guy like HBK, for instance. HBK is incredible in that ring, but he's also a 10 out of everything, unlike every other scale. So those are the best wrestlers in the world to me. But like I said, I can't come down on people for not being the greatest in that ring. So I do take that back, what I said about LA Knight. So shout out to LA Knight. And Nia Jax.
Bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not that good, but
Yeah,
the crowd
yeah,
reacts to her. The crowd reacts to her, man. The crowd hates her. And being hated in the wrestling industry is a good thing, despite what y'all might feel out there on the internet. If the crowd is booing when you're coming out that curtain, then you're doing your job. If the crowd is sitting on their hands and not making noise, that's when you need to go back to the drawing board. And the crowd definitely reacts when Nia Jax is out there. So I got nothing negative to say about her. Shout out to her.
Hey, bro.
What?
HBK has no flaws.
None.
I just thought of.
Yeah.
So
Bro, that's
HBK's
crazy.
biggest flaw, HBK, what was considered his biggest flaw back in the day was that he was small in WWE, like big guys. But even now, when you really look at it, HBK wasn't that small. Everybody else was just so big.
Yeah.
Perfect wrestler.
Bro, it was like the
HBK is a
perfect wrestler.
bro.
Wow, that's crazy.
I
kinda wish
Wrestler
I-
at the worst time.
Yeah, I wish
Facts.
I grew up in that era to see him, maneuver, because we grew up while he was a commissioner or whatever. So it's like,
Yep.
Yeah, we never got
that
to
back
see him
injury.
like have those matches for real. Like, at the
man.
heat, at the peak of wrestling, it would have been incredible. But
Yo, and before we get into the rundown, who would y'all say the most perfect wrestler is today? The closest thing to HBK. I know who I would say. To me, I would say, and I know I might get some pushback on this,
Austin
but I would
Theory.
say Randy Orton. You know what? I'm not mad at Austin Theory. I'm not mad at Austin Theory. just
I'm
'cause he's
sorry.
young,
Bruh.
but
Randy
I wasn't
Orton?
even gonna go to up and coming. I wasn't gonna go to up and coming route. I was just gonna say Randy Orton because I feel like Randy Orton, he checks every box. Like for as far as this modern era,
He does.
He's good in ring. He got the look. He can talk.
Great baby
Presence,
face. Great
character.
He had one of the great heel runs. Oh my God.
Sells merch. He's like the perfect wrestler.
Y'all
Yeah.
bugging, man. It's Seth.
Roman. Yeah, Seth.
Seth
Yeah,
too.
Seth.
Yeah,
You know what?
Seth.
You know what?
Yeah, that's
I
Seth.
get that.
It's
I get
like-
at the Sylvan. Seth
Yeah,
Rollins is
and-
definitely the closest thing to Roman Reigns right now.
Yeah, in ring, mic presence, like character, shtick, like he's got it all. Like, what does this guy not lack? He is the most perfect wrestler in the world to me. He's not the number one guy. I mean, he's not Roman, but
Right.
he is the best.
Yeah, well, look, if you're out there, let us know how y'all feel. Who do y'all think the most perfect wrestler is right now in the industry? A guy who's 10 out of 10 in every category, in ring, outside of the ring, on the mic, character work. Let us know. Who do y'all think who the best is right now? And don't forget, we do got a Discord. We're starting this Discord. If you want to talk to us personally, you want to ask Sylvan about his music, you want to ask Cooley about what he got going on with this film stuff, or you just want to get some shoes from the boy Quan, let us know in his Discord. Let us know below. Let us know that you need that link, and we got you. We'll send it to you. Come talk to us, baby. Now, it's that time again, my brothers. Y'all know what time it is?
Big
It's not time.
Brandeezy.
It's tour time. I remember that. Remember tour time?
Here's the
Home
bell
improvement.
that never
Here's the bell. It never fails.
never fell and makes
Nah,
me want
it
to
ain't
like
tour
my
time. Man.
Man, what a time.
Sometimes I feel like we're out
What
our
a
damn
time.
mind. Like, sometimes
what a time,
we do
man.
things on this podcast, and I start to question our mentality. Like, what is wrong with us? And what are you
What a
drinking, bro?
time.
What are you drinking?
Some
Anyway,
mushroom
it's time for
coffee
Cooley's
latte,
rundown, by the
man.
way.